Hello everyone. So today we're gonna be working on some art. Hello Sally Art, welcome. So today I've been having this OC in my head for quite a while, and I thought, okay, let me just do art for him. Because I haven't done like art for me in a while. I do a lot of art for YouTube. So these last few days I've been doing art for myself. One of these pieces of art that I've been doing is sketching a few OCs that I have in my head, but that I didn't really get the time to design yet. So today we're gonna be doing that. Yeah. I hope you guys like it. So, Sayuri Kumu, hi, welcome. Kitty-sam, hi, welcome. Farah, welcome. Doodle-Quile, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, so just like usual, if anything is off, so for example, if my model breaks and I don't quite see it, or if the audio sounds off, you guys can tell me, and I'll try to fix it as best as I can. I also am slightly late. I was trying to download a different music set for the background. The file was a bit too big, so I kind of had to cancel the download. Hopefully for next drawing stream, hopefully you'll get new music. For now, we'll get Ace Attorney music. Hi Rascal, welcome! So yeah, and I'm trying to do something a little different today when it comes to the art style. So I'm trying to do... I really wanted to do something a bit more like sketchy. Not sketchy. Bit more like I don't know exactly how to say this because it is sort of ethereal, sort of like something you kind of do in colored pencils. I love that style and I kind of want to try it out. So that's what we're doing today with this character. Hello Isaac, welcome from the last Deltarune stream. Oh, thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you so much. So, this little guy, his name is Haruto, and he is this very shy kid with, he kind of has social anxiety. He is slowly becoming an ikikomori. That's basically his thing. So I've been like thinking about a project for him. I also... The problem with thinking about projects is that I have so many projects and I need to finish... At least one of them I want to finish. I want to finish my projects. Unfortunately, I have the attention span of a goldfish. And I always jump around between projects, which... If you know anything about doing long-term projects, it's terrible. So, I've been thinking about actually working on one project that I've actually shown before here on the channel, which is Bunnyface. I really want to finish up Bunnyface. The story is basically all... It's not 100% structured, but I more or less know what I want from it. I just been avoiding designing the harder parts, which are basically the creature designs for like basic enemy types or like the main antagonists and stuff like that. Which, yeah, it's hard for me because I'm not used to designing creatures. I do feel like that's probably my most structurally sound project, to be completely honest. I love the watercolor kind of vibe. Oh, yeah, I love that vibe as well on other art. And I've been trying to do like, because you guys know, I've been exploring a little bit with my art style, exactly because I'm like, okay, because I think there's that's part of the reason why I wanted to give you guys the option of choosing if you wanted a Cookie Run Kingdom video next or an art style video next. It's because I think a lot of people have the misconception that art styles kind of like you choose one and you stick with it forever, and that's not at all what actually happens. So yeah, and I wanted to do a little video just saying what I think about it. I am one of those people that quite literally does not worry as much about style as I do with narrative structure and stuff like that, because I think style is something that is going to evolve, and I think that if you get stuck with one style, you only hurt your art progress in the end. So yeah, that also might be because I had a very interesting teacher back in my college days, back when I was taking my graduation, where he basically told us that. He was like, well, you guys are way too young to have an art style defined. And we were all 20, right? Or around 20 years old. And he basically told us, oh, you don't need to worry about art styles. You are quite literally too young to know what art style you guys want to draw or do your work in. And at first I was like, oh, well, he's just saying that because he's saying that. But then I stopped a little and I was like, I think he's right. Because I was like, okay, let me think about it. I love art and I want to do it forever. Do I see myself drawing in the exact same way until the end of my days? I don't know about you guys, but I simply don't see myself drawing in the same way forever. So I was like, maybe he's right. So I've been trying to push myself to do different art styles or slightly different and see what sticks. So yeah, I think that some of my projects, especially Cryptid Lake, I think Cryptid Lake, and that's mainly the reason why it's on a indefinite hiatus, I think they came at a very weird time in my art growth process, where I changed a lot and the way I do stuff changed as well. And I think it just came at a weird time. If it had come like 2 years before, or I don't know, a few years after, maybe it would have been more sound for me to keep working on the project. As it is now, it's not that I can't see myself working on it, it's that I just don't know what to do with it, unfortunately. For now, anyway. I might change my mind eventually, and I hope I do, because it is still a very important story for me. What's the accent? I like it. Well, I think it's an accent. My accent? So I'm Portuguese, so I'm pretty sure that's a Portuguese accent. Unless I picked up some kind of other accent. Hi, Aspen the Void, welcome! Well, I enjoyed the comic so far, that's totally understandable. Thank you so much. So, basically what happened, I can actually tell you guys more or less what happened with it. It's that a few things happened. So, first of all, my art style changed quite dramatically for a few months. Then, Another thing that happened was, I think because I wrote Cryptid Lake when I was like, it was before my last year of college, and it took me like 1 or 2 years to actually start working on the art for it. And I genuinely think that only hurt the project more, because I think that what happened was, in those years I evolved as a writer. So basically I looked at manuscripts and I was like, this sucks. And because it sucked, I was like, I can't, in good faith, continue to work on this because I actually think this sucks. But yeah, I think that was it, more than anything else. Because if you guys see the last pages, I did change the style and I was totally fine with that. But it was when I started to reread the manuscripts and see this does not work, I was like, okay, I need to work this out. So yeah. Plus, you seem to be busy with school, so like, don't burn yourself out. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not anymore, thankfully. My school year is done, so I've done pretty much everything. So next year, so like school, I'm taking my master's, right? And this year we had classes, but next year we're not going to get classes. We're going to have like one class, and then the rest is either a project or an internship, and I'm doing an internship. So yeah, it's overall, I don't know, it's an interesting time in my life. I know that feeling with writing, it's humbling, but it's growth. Yes, it is. It is mostly sad because you really think you like the story, and then you reread it and you're like, oh, aish. And you usually just think, oh, I can do better than this. It's very, it is like you said, it's very humbling. I was also kind of wondering to myself before the stream, I don't know if it's a good idea for me to experiment with style on stream. Because sometimes I try to experiment something and give up. But yeah, let's see. Might work out. If I have a Discord server, I've been thinking about getting one for the community. The only problem I have is that I've seen a lot of communities where people with very bad intentions join, and I don't know if I can be... I don't know, it's more of I'm afraid that it might happen if I open a Discord as well, because I also usually don't use Discord. So I'm not very familiar with it. I don't know exactly how managing a community is like. I know of a person that might help me with it, but you know, still it's I feel like it's very risky, especially because I know most people in my community are pretty young. And that's totally fine. I love you all, but exactly because I love you all is the reason why I'm like, I don't know if I want to do a Discord server, because yes, you guys can communicate with me and you get to share things in like a community, but if we're not careful, that can also be a place where I And I like to think that it would never happen to a community like mine, but I'm also the type of person that's like, you know what? It's better to be safe than sorry. It's just that. I've just seen so many communities that have that problem that I'm like, maybe it's not for me. Well, thank you for understanding. Yeah, it's unfortunate, really, because I do think that having a Discord community would be pretty fun. Let's see. I think I actually am going to do some line art before, and then I'll do the painting and see how things go. Hopefully it will work out. I've been trying to do this where I basically don't zoom in very much when I do the line art, because I kind of want it to be sketchy. By the way, today's stream is going to be like 2 hours max. I kinda like that he has a white nose. Because I've been trying to avoid working on the video because I want to try new things, but I do need to work on the next video. Because it does take an interesting amount of time for me to do the entire video. Discord, I think that's a responsible take. I come from the age of online strangers danger being a big topic, and yeah, it's not without merit to worry. Yeah, I think that unfortunately the thing about stranger danger online, I don't think is said enough. Because when I was a kid, like, talking with strangers online was a big no-no. And especially as a kid, I think that's the most responsible thing to do. And, but you know, as a kid, you don't see it that way, because you just want to have fun. So it is just up to the adults in the scene to kind of try to minimize the situation, because kids obviously don't, you know, they just want to have fun, they don't understand the dangers, and that's just being a kid. So as the adult in the situation, you have to be responsible. But yeah, here's a warning. I'm a big chatterbox, so I may feel your chat. Oh, that's totally fine. We just need to blast that Viva Pinata playing online video every chance we get. Also, hi Fuzzy Kitten, welcome! I've also been trying to sketch differently. I now use this very wide brush. So my sketch is it's not only messy, it's messy, and it's not super defined, which means that I don't get to see what my actual character will look like until I clean it up. It is a bit more nerve-wracking, but it's also surprisingly very freeing. Because I look at my art and I'm like, oh, this is different, I love it. I've done this for the first time when I was working on the pure vanilla drawing, and I completely fell in love with the process. And it's also faster as well, which is amazing. today, like 1 hour or so before the stream, maybe 2 hours before the stream, I opened the window because it was starting to get very warm in my room, and this giant wasp just flew into my bedroom. Literally, the second I opened the window, it just flew into my bedroom. And then, because of course it just couldn't be just about a wasp in my room, my cat looked at the wasp and he wanted to eat the wasp. I was like, oh, I need to get the cat out of here. I had to take my cat out of the room, but aside from that, everything went well. Yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking because I really don't like wasps. I don't think anyone likes, but... Giant wasp? Oh, how I would have screamed. I actually kept my cool because I had all my pets in my room and I couldn't scare them off. I couldn't be nervous because then they would be nervous and that would be a harder problem to solve. My thing is that at first I thought, okay, it's gonna be fine because the wasp doesn't actually fight you, you know? It only goes after you if you provoke it. So I kept my cool, but then I was so nervous because I was like, oh, that thing is not going away, is it? Because it was on the window, it was trying to get out, but it was just eating the glass. And my window is wide open, so I'm like, just go a little bit to the left so you can, like, get out of here. But it took a while. It eventually understood where the exit was, but it took a little while before it understood. Wasps are chill so long as they are 5 cubic miles away. Yeah, but actually, they are pretty chill if you don't provoke them. That's why I tried my best to... to be completely honest, the harder part was actually keeping my cat from getting on the wasp. Wait, do people have a new spider daily? No, but the other day I found a spider in my room as well. I hate spiders. With the spider, I did scream. I didn't scream with the wasp, I did scream with the spider. But at the same time, when I saw the wasp, I was like, well, at least I have something to say on stream. I'm Australian. Ooh! Oh, it must be super late then. No offense, but I would not be able to live in Australia. Because I've seen pictures of the place. The place is beautiful, but there's just so many, like Australia was basically made to scare humans. To in the morning. Oh my god! Thank you for joining us despite being so super late. I keep trying to train my cat to eat bugs in my room, but she just plays with them until they crawl under something. Oh, I don't think that's something you can actually train them on. I think it's like an instinct they have, right? Because mine does. Mine just catches bugs and eats them almost instantaneously. Hello, David, welcome! Satan makes pets and gives them to Australia. Yeah, from what I've seen. Like, cause like, your house spiders are pretty big, aren't they? From what I've seen, they are like huge. I would not. The only way to fix my sleeping schedule is to have school the next day. I understand that. To be completely honest, my sleep schedule is also kind of messed up because my classes were at night during the entirety of the year. So now I'm super used to getting home like really late and going to sleep really late. So I need to fix it during the holidays. Them huntmen got no reason to be the size of my palm, like, chill. What's a huntman? No, I would not. No. No. No, I think I would die if I saw one of these. No, I was not built for Australia. Not at all. It's a huge spider. I hate it. I wish I didn't look it up. If I already scream with spiders that are way smaller than my thumbnail, I don't know how I would react with a spider that big, if I'm completely honest. I think a huntsman is just a bigger daddy long legs. Oh, maybe. Hi Softly Magical, welcome. If I'm joining for art fight, no, I never joined art fights. It sounds very fun from what I've seen, but I'm not joining this year. Maybe another year. Shadow Hearts, let me see. It's kind of familiar, but I don't know if it's familiar because it's so visually similar to games of the time, or because I've heard of it. It sounds very interesting though. It's an RPG, right? I can't do spiders either, lol. I could not make it in Australia, me neither. You can be sure of that. And I couldn't understand if it's just the animals. Why the fuck is Australia literally hell in the summer? Like, this not suitable for human survival. Oh my god. What's Blue Tongue's kinks? Hold on. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, if I was in Australia, I would probably get one of those. They're very cute too. Yeah, for you, summers in Australia are pretty bad because more than in the problem, it's not that you're close to the equator. Usually, countries closer to the equator are in fact more warm, just generally. But the thing is, because the Earth is in as an axis of 23 degrees, more or less, it means that the southern hemisphere will always get way more sun than the northern hemisphere. So that's why Australia is way warmer despite being so much southern than the equator. They are very cute, the lizards. Where did I put the... There it is. Hello, Cephaly, welcome! When I was designing Haruto, I was taking into as inspiration Frisk and Kara from Undertale, and Chris from Deltarune. But then it's like, oh, I actually kind of need to be careful, because I don't want them to be too similar. So that's partially the reason why his projects... I think I need to rethink it, because it's just way too close to Undertale for my comfort. Yeah, Undertale is one of my inspirations, narratively speaking, but I can't just do something too similar to it. What's your favorite horror comedy piece of media? What is my favorite horror piece of media? Have you ever think of drawing a webtoon? Yes, I have. I actually have a webtoon. It is currently on an indefinite hiatus, but I'm pretty sure it's in the description if you want to check it out. So my favorite horror media... I don't know. I've seen, I don't know. I actually don't know. That's totally fair, waiting for Deltarune to be on sale. I've been having a lot of fun playing it though. I totally recommend it. And to be completely honest, if you're into the community, you should probably buy it as soon as possible, because the community is spoiling the game left and right, and I have to do actively do gymnastics to just avoid all the spoilers, which is incredibly annoying. Wait, is Australia close to the equator? I thought it was way further. Dazai, welcome! Oh, this is Haruto. See? I actually need to talk to you afterwards. Because I was thinking about, and back to work, oh, sorry. Yeah. And then the worst is that no, it's about the project, so it's fine. Oh my god, cause like they've been doing so many memes about it, to a point where I'm like, I don't know if this is a spoiler or if this is a joke. And I'm like, I just need to finish playing the game so that I can understand all the jokes. It actually looks kind of nice. Your favorite Pretty Cute season? Precure. Precure a la mode. It's my favorite. It was my first as well. And I think it's because it was my first. It's just it has a very, very special place in my heart. Reels on Instagram are dangerous because the algorithm is like, oh, you like Deltarune? Here you go. I know. Shorts on YouTube, the same thing. By the way, could you give some tips on how you managed to grow your channel? I'm going to be completely honest. In the beginning, it was pure dumb luck because I had done a video where I designed magical girl OCs, and then it exploded. But it didn't explode right away. It exploded months after I posted it. I am going to be completely honest, I was super close to just give up. I was actually thinking about giving up YouTube. And then all of a sudden the video just got a lot of views, and I was like, okay, maybe this can actually work. And so I kept doing videos. And one thing that I noticed is that YouTube will actively punish you if you don't post consistently. And when I say consistently, is basically every week. Which is a shame. Because it is very difficult to post every week. At some point I was able to do it. It is very hard though. It is very, very hard. And then it is very, very easy for you to be completely burned out after a couple weeks of you doing, because I did, if you guys were here for long enough, there was a time where I did 2 videos a week. And I was able to, and I burned out so fast. And I wasn't even really that proud of the videos, and they didn't make all that many views either. I think I noticed that my videos have been doing way better since I became a bit more focused on creating, since I've started to put more effort in the videos. So like trying to take the editing more seriously, doing more things like adding sound effects and stuff like that, doing little animations and things of the sort. I think you have to see what people want from you, and 2 videos a week is pretty tough. I can't lie. It was pretty hard. It was right around the time I did the turning evolutions into pretty idols. was around that time. And it kind of, well, I was able to do it because my style was way simpler. But still, it was... And it takes all the time of your day. And at the end of the day, you look at it and you're like, I'm not very proud of this. Especially with art on top of the editing and recording, yes. And at the time, I was using Photoshop, so I had to do like an extra editing step. Yeah. So it usually takes me a week to complete a full drawing. I'm actually lucky because I am quite fast at drawing, but the problem with that is that you can usually get carried away way more easily, and you get carried away way more easily, and then you just have a hard time getting you get burned out faster, and you get it's hard to get back to it after you get burned out. Today I'm a bit of a scatterbrain, huh? Let's see. I'm thinking about leaving the skin tone even in the eyes, because I actually think it looks pretty cute. Also, the expression in this drawing is so cute. He looks like he needs a hug. Thank you. It is kind of what I wanted him to look like. Very troubled, yes. He is very troubled because he is a very, very, very socially anxious. I like his bangs. Ah, the bangs are actually inspired by Toilet-Bound Hanako-kun. I love that manga, and so I took it as inspiration for the hair. If I'm doing secret bosses in Deltarune, if I stumbled onto them, I'll try, because I did try to do Javel. I'm not actively searching for them. They're not particularly important, and then to me at least. And the other thing is that because my streams are pretty short and I don't play that well, I try my best to keep the things not boring. Because if I stick too long in one place, I think the stream becomes very boring. Especially if it's like, when I did Javel, I spent like, what, half an hour trying to beat him, and I didn't do it, and I was like, okay, I definitely need to keep going. Thank you! I have seen like 2 episodes of the anime, but I've read, let me see how many. I've read 7 of the manga. I have 7 of them. But because of that, because I did the bangs like Hanako, it does look like Hanako as well. Which was not what I wanted, but here we are. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I have like cool brushes to use on this. I want one where it's like color pencil. I want to read the manga, but manga reading is an expensive hobby. Yeah, I mean, there are some services where you can where you can read manga online. Like, I think Shonen Jump has one, which is Manga Plus, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I do think you have to pay like a monthly fee for Manga Plus. It's kind of like Crunchyroll, which Crunchyroll used to have manga as well. I don't know if they have anymore. Since I've rejoined Crunchyroll, I haven't seen that they have anime. Manga. Okay, if you do secret bosses, then make sure to stock up on revive mints for the boss in chapter 3. Yeah. Dude, yeah, manga adds up. Libraries can be a godsend, but it depends on what they got, of course. Some libraries have manga. Yeah, some do. It's very rare, but some do. I actually had a duplicate of Sailor Moon Volume 5. Because my parents got... they thought I didn't have Volume 5, so they got me Volume 5 and 6 one Christmas many years ago. And then they realized, oh, you have Volume 5. So I ended up donating the Volume 5 to a local library. And from what I've heard, kids, I have been asking for that one quite a bit. I've also given I've given like a small collection, which was just 3 books. It was from a manga called Peach Fuzz, which is not very popular, and it's not Japanese, it's American, but I really liked it as a kid, and I didn't read it anymore, so I just gave it away. I started both Laid Back Camp and Full Metal Alchemist recently, and thankfully my library has all of both of them. Oh, really? Laid Back Camp as well? My closest library only gets up to the 100th One Piece manga. That's actually pretty good. Oh, yeah, I was looking for the colored pencil one. Hold on. I probably should have thought of this before. We'll see. I have so many tabs open. A color pencil. Oh, there are some really cool ones here. I just don't know if they look cool for what I want. I looked at my friend's monitor yesterday and he had like 80 tabs open over multiple browsers. You know, I can't say anything because I don't think I ever got to 80, but yeah, it's very easy to get there. Thanks to the people who donate manga to libraries, yeah. Actually, I didn't donate it to like an actual library, I donated it to a school library. Because I also know that kids these days, because like when I used to go to like normal school, you know, high school and middle school and stuff like that, reading manga wasn't very cool. But now kids actually like that, so I was like, oh, they're gonna like this. And so I donated it since I didn't need them anymore. I will not be donating my my good manga though. I like them too much. I need the ones that I downloaded. Here it is. So weird. It's not appearing. Okay. Let's see. Let's experiment with this one. Up. Refer to all layers. I was wondering if you try the taco art books, and is it worth buying if you had any? The taco. What do you mean by that? Hi Nico likes lemons, welcome! Tell a Gen Alpha to read. If there happens to be anyone from Generation Alpha, please pick up a book. They are worth it, I tell you. And if you want to read comics, that's fine, as long as you read. The taco art books. I'm sorry, Vulcan, what do you mean by the taco art books? I have a few art books. I have a few art books, and I think they are worth it for you to have. This one is very heavy. Especially as a learning manual, but also as a collectible thing, it's very cool to have art books. I can actually tell you which art books I have, because they're right over there. Hold on. I have the Zootopia art book, which is pretty good. They show design so much. They show graphic design, they show prop design, they show character design, they show environment design, which is pretty good. I've read that Zootopia's art book is probably one of the best art books out there, at least at the time. So that's the reason I actually got it. Taku is a Korean artist, and I keep hearing people mentioning them. Oh, I don't have the art book then, because I didn't know who they were. But if you're talking about just in general, I love art books. Another one that I have is the Spider-Verse art book, not the first one, but the second one. Yeah, I do have the second one. My boyfriend got it for me on Valentine's Day last year. No, it was not last year. It was this year, I think. No, last year. And then I have an art book of Supercell, which is a mobile game design company. So the people that did what's the name? They did Brawl Stars. That's why I got the art book, because I love the art style of Brawl Stars and I wanted to see. Then I have the second volume of Aidaro's book, which is the team behind Hanako-kun, Toilet-Bound Hanako-kun. So I have the art book as well, it's one of my favorites. And then I have an art book of Jamie Holova or Oloka, something like that. Which is pretty good. It's the artist behind the gorillas. And then I have a box with golden era Disney postcards, which I also really love. A few friends gave it to me on my birthday. I live in North America and a coastal community, so it tends to be a lot cooler here than in Portugal. Today is actually not that bad. Today is way cooler than yesterday. Yesterday was hell. I didn't know Clash of Clans has an art book. It has. Supercell did one on their 10th anniversary. If I'm totally not honest, I'm kinda regretful for buying the art book, Supercell art book, because I think some of the images are have a very poor quality. Because I think they didn't re-render. They just kind of scaled up a few images, so it looks very pixelated at points, but you know. I'm pretty sure I have the same postcard. I believe that. Yeah, because it's very common, I think. They have one for Disney princesses as well. They have one for the Silver Era and everything like that. Where are you from, Volcano? I'm burning here in Cyprus. Oh, sorry, Cyprus. It's 36. Oh my, that's a lot. And without electricity too, jeez. That sounds like hell. Is this heat wave Europe is actually hotter than many tropical regions in Asia? I don't know about that. Do you have any tips on starting an online comic book concept? And don't say give up before you start or something like that. I think because I've never finished a project, all I can say is that first you need to be really sure that that's the story you want to tell. And then if you do think, okay, I want to do this, I love this story, this is very important to me, plan. Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think you need to do a few projects for you to understand what's your type of vibe, you know? So for example, many people say have everything planned. Some people say don't have much planned, just have like a loose outline. And both can work, and both will work depending on the person. So you need to see what's the type of thing, what's your type of creative vibe, let's say it like that. If you're like me and you like to have control and feel like, okay, I just need to do this, plan as much as you can, but always give yourself a little bit of breathing room to like change things up if you want. And try your best to keep everything fresh, like the story fresh, you know? Because sometimes when you work on a project for a really long time, you do get this sense of kind of get bored of it, which is a bit sad to say, but it's totally true. And to me, like, the important thing is probably start working on it right now. Choose the story, choose the theming, and just start working on it. Because I think the first project will always be a learning project. It will never be a masterpiece. It will always be a learning project. And if you go in with that in mind, then you leave yourself open to experiment, fail, and everything else. And then next project, it will go much smoother. Also, if it's about comics online specifically, just have, before you start posting, don't do a page and then post it immediately. No. Do like a good amount of pages. Like a good amount of pages. Like at least 6 months worth of pages before you start publishing anything. I think that's the most important rule for me. What programs do you recommend to draw? I love Clip Studio Paint. Other software works pretty well. If you want to do comics and animations and stuff like that, Clip Studio Paint is pretty cool because they already have stuff made to make your work a lot easier. So yeah, Clip Studio Paint. You can use Photoshop as well, but Photoshop is way more expensive. I used to use Photoshop. I loved Photoshop. It did become pretty expensive, and I was like, okay, I can't keep using Photoshop. Just not, it's not that worth it, you know? Well, that looks cute. If I ever tried to Krita, yes, I did. For a while. For a little bit. And I tried using it for animation, and I know a lot of people like Krita. I personally don't like Krita all that much. I think it's a bit slow. But it might also be that it was a while ago. It was a few years ago, so I don't know if they changed it. They might have. But it is, from what I've heard, it is a pretty good like Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint alternative, free alternative. It's free, so you really can't complain all that much, right? Sky Cuddle? I've never heard of it, to be honest, but I'm pretty curious about what it is. Oh, the story of this one? I don't know if I'm ready to tell it yet. It's still very early on. It is mainly about a kid that needs to learn to understand that I think his story, when I finish developing it, I want it to be a story about a kid who doesn't have any friends, who has trouble making friends, talking to people, who is super shy. But at the end of his journey, he understands that eventually he will find his people. he will find a group of people that think like him, act like him, and that have a lot in common with him, and that he will understand, maybe I just need to find my people. Which was basically what I kind of went through when I was a kid, where I didn't have all that many friends. But when I joined the art school, I was like, oh my god, so many kids like me! And I was really, really happy about it. Because my parents used to say that to me all the time. Like, oh, well, you don't have many friends right now, but that's okay. In a few years, you'll find your people and then you'll have lots of friends. And they were right. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to do a story about it. It's a multiplayer game where you go on adventures with friends, playing as light fairies. Ooh. I need to see that. When I was a kid, I was super obsessed with fairies. Super obsessed. It's a very cute story, thank you. It's just I feel like this story needs to be worked on more. It's just not there yet. Oops. Oop. Oof. I almost spilled my drink on my computer. That was... Christ averted. I really love that the story. Found it relatable. When I started university, I forced myself to speak to people. Yeah, I did that too when I got to art school. Hey, I'm going to go. I have to help my mom. See you later. Love the drawing. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today as well. What? Thank you all so much. I also love the story. I just need to figure stuff out before I'm ready to do something real with it. Like, I need to understand the characters better. Like, I need to fall in love with the characters first. Oh yeah, a week or two ago, while I was in the school library, because I have a library class for some reason, I heard my friend ask the teacher why the manga was in black and white. Yeah, so manga is usually in black and white because it's cheaper. It's way cheaper. I'm working on a game for the story. I wanted to make a game, yes. I do think I'm going to work on another story first. A story that is more sound before I get to work on this one. Because I also think this story I need to find my voice as a game developer as well, I think. Before I do a story so personal. Because right now my idea for it was way too close to Deltarune and Undertale. I also wanted this project specifically to be very, very culturally interesting. Like, the character is Japanese, and I wanted to play with the folklore, because I find that so fun. And I would love to do a game like that. Hi Mika, welcome! Hi Lucindo Art 666, thank you so much! Honestly, I think I have a really great idea for a story, but I really want to get good at drawing before I do anything progress to put out on the internet. That's fair. That's fair. The only problem with it is that I think you'll always feel like your art isn't good enough. So be careful with that, because that usually happens, where you always think, oh, my art isn't good enough, so you kind of delay it. So make sure to not delay it too much. But also, if you want to practice, because your first project will always be the worst one, just make another idea and work on it. And in that idea, give yourself time to grow, give yourself room to make mistakes and everything like that. And since it's not your like most treasured idea, hopefully, you'll not feel very pressured. Hi Millie Young, welcome! Thank you, Mika! In a world where people's experience vary depending on their environment, you are most likely to encounter people you don't vibe with. But the moment you find your people, it feels like you're home. That's totally true, yes. And I think that it is a very common occurrence for like art kids, where most of our lives were like the weird kid kinda, the art kid, and then you find the people that love the same things you do, and suddenly it's like, oh my god, so many kids like me, that's so fun. Trust me, I will take feedback to heart and probably will stop after the first possible post. Ah, okay. I think you need to be... Putting your art online is very important, I think, especially in today's market. Let's say it like that. I don't think you'll ever feel prepared to. You kind of just have to. And I think you'll be very surprised. Most people are very kind. Of course, you'll get a comment here and there, but especially if you're starting out, people will most likely be very kind. So I don't think you have to worry about that. It's very... I know there are some like stories about people getting bullied because they are a beginner, especially on TikTok, but if you stay clear of more toxic communities, it should be fine. Someday I have to do a video where sometime I have to do a video where I take you guys to see my old DeviantArt, which was the first place I ever shared my art on. And there are some interesting art there because it does record the first part of my art journey. Even if the art isn't good, even if the art has a lot of issues, you should be able to post it and you should feel proud of it. And you shouldn't let anyone's comments deter you from your passion. That's what I think, at least. I'm personally not an artist myself, but having people to bond with over your interests and nerdy stuff feels incredibly assuring that there are people like that in the world. Yes, I did say artist because that's what I'm used to, but I can see it totally in other areas as well. It is a very comforting feeling. Yeah, I was going to do it. I wanted to do it this during the summer, this summer. Because this year it's officially 10 years since I've started to work for real on my art and since I started to post my art online as well. So I wanted to do something to celebrate that. I know some essays, and I'll be prepared for feedback. The interesting thing is that in the beginning you'll probably not get much feedback at all. But here's the thing, as long as you're having fun, really nothing anyone says should interfere with what you love to do. The tablet that I used to draw is a Cintiq 16 HD. So it has a monitor built in. So it's a lot easier to draw with. I love it because it is very convenient. I do have another one, like a smaller one without a screen, to take with me if I have to take like a drawing tablet to school or something like that. Sure, why not? Just don't say anything too bad. I was almost going to buy a Wacom one, but I changed my mind last minute. But you don't need like a fancy tablet to draw. The reason I have one is because this is going to be my job, so it's an investment. If you're doing it as an hobby, you definitely can just do it with a smaller screen or one without screen at all. The ones without screens are also pretty good. I just they are a bit harder because there is a small disconnect on your brain because you have to look like your hand is not where you have to look. The other one that I have, I think it's a Wacom Intuos, like a very small one. Yeah, hi Millie, yeah. Drawing is the best. I love it. Oh, I need. Oh, it's the hair that's missing. Okay. In my experience, using the small non-screen one has really helped me improve my postures. I'm not shrimp anymore because of it. Ooh, maybe I should do that too, because my posture is abysmal. Eshe is just an Australian slang for someone to get into crime a lot, apparently. But I'd use it for someone really self-centered. Ah, okay. I think you should still give it a try, though. I think you'll be surprised. You want me to give you like a prompt? How do I get... Okay, so... I have a lot of projects. I get ideas for them in different ways. Sometimes it's a song. So for example, I can tell you, this one, the story for this one, it was inspired by the Kikuo song called The Fox and the Child, and the Good Child, something like that. But other projects, sometimes I have a dream and then I have to do something about it. Sometimes I have like a random like prompt in my head and I'm like, oh, I like this. Sometimes I do a main character and then I'm like, oh, this is it's a cool, interesting concept. Let me explore this. You get it from a variety of things. Just kind of have to explore. Interesting, yes. Yeah, basically you just have to kind of play around. Sometimes when you're bored, it's also a good time to think about stories. because when you're bored, you just kind of want to explore your own internal world, which is pretty fun. It's always super fun. And I think you'll naturally see that you like to explore certain concepts more than others. And I think you should just find the concepts you like to explore and just explore them more and more and see what goes from there. Apart from that, do you stream anywhere else besides YouTube? I don't. Usually when I stream only on YouTube. I did think about streaming on Twitch too, because I really love the thing that they do where people can interact with the VTuber model, but yeah, I don't think a lot of people would see me there, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll try streaming on Twitch as well. But I'm also not very accustomed to Twitch's how would you call it? Twitch's like environment, let's say it like that. Anyway. Thank you, Pixel Lover. Welcome as well. I think that's the first time you're chatting. Well, thank you so much, Rascal. I have another character. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this one of Haruto, and then I'll work on a design, which is it's this one. It's in it, but with a different color palette and a completely different design. I also really like this one. So I think it would be pretty fun to work on this as well, a little bit. But first, let's finish this one up. It's almost finished. Oh. Thank you! I think I'm gonna change the music, hold on. Yes, it is my first time here. I want to learn how to draw. Oh, great! I'm cooking a burger in a microwave. In a store near me, they sell packaged burgers. Do you prefer summer or winter? Winter 100%. My line art always looks so messy. Messy line art is actually also pretty cool. Especially if it's intentional. Like, I wouldn't say my line art is particularly clean either. Like, I don't want it to feel digital. That's why I like the little texture it has. You see? I like the texture. Because then, one thing that I love to do is use, a retro anime filter on top of it, and it looks always super cool. Just wanted to say hi, that I like your work. I'm a new sub, found you since someone was watching your vid in my art school. Oh, really? Oh my god, thank you so much! Hello, Geloty, welcome! I like to do chicken scratch on Just Doodles. Chicken scratch is considered to be quite a messy style of line art. A lot of people say don't do it. I think it's completely acceptable to do if it is intentional. Yeah, I changed it. Before this one, it was Ace Attorney music because I love Ace Attorney, but I changed it. Because after 1 hour and a half, the music starts to get a little bit repetitive. Here's the thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add the whites of the eye just to see if I like it more. I don't know. I like it. Kinda. I'll leave it like this. Okay. Bye, Nico likes lemons. Thank you thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, so now I'm going to use the auto actions I have. I usually do a bloom, so it gets a little blurry. Then noise, and I'll scale up the noise a little. This. Up. There. And then I'll add chromatic aberration. And I can either do a VHS effect or not. Because I like how it looks right now, I'm not going to do a VHS effect. And now, to touch up the colors, I'm going to add a saturation thing. A new correction layer with hue, saturation, and luminosity. Then I'll pump up the saturation. There. Yep. Not much difference, and it looks way warmer, doesn't it? Way more analog, which I absolutely love. This drawing actually turned out pretty cute. Here's something to talk about. Big Shot is the better. It's better than Megalovania. I don't know. I don't know. Just because Megalovania is such a cultural icon by now. Thank you, thank you. If you guys want, I can see if I can find the specific auto action. Let me see which one is Retro Filters. It's this one. I'll give you the link for the Clip Studio Asset Store. It's called Retro Filters. By Glare Daggers. I have to mess with it every now and then, but it usually works just fine. Just remember to adjust the saturation at the end. Here it is. I'm gonna pin it. Just in case you guys want to see it. Hello, thank you so much! Because it looks very digital without the filters on top. But with the filters it looks very, very soft. I actually think we're gonna stop here for today. Because I wanted the stream to be like 2 hours, and when we only have 20 minutes, we'll not be able to finish anything in 20 minutes. So I think we're gonna end for today. Either way, thank you so much for joining me today. It was lovely to be with all of you guys. I hope to see you guys in next stream. So next stream, we're actually going to keep streaming Deltarune. It's part 2 of Deltarune chapter 3. And it's gonna be on Friday. So usually I'm trying to do streams like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Friday are gaming streams. Wednesday is art stream. I didn't have a lot to do today. But yeah. I think today was very productive, despite me being a bit unsure of what I was going to do today. But yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Millie Youngs, bye. Bye, Isaac. Bye, Rascal. Thank you all so much. Until next time, bye. Bye, Fuzzy Kitten. Bye.